All right. Welcome to Save Par Golf Podcast. It has been a few weeks since anybody has heard my voice other than the people in person, which is kind of weird to say at this point. Um, Derek's not here. Derek is still pooped, and I think he's a little tired of me, so he's getting a break this week. But we definitely wanted to recap the Shindig week we had. So I'm joined with Jordan from Odin, as always. Um, Jordan was nice enough to help us plan this wonderful event that everybody had a blast at, showed us around downtown San Francisco, um, showed us his parents' wonderful home and introduced us. And it's still one of those things I look back on and I still can't believe we did it. Um, Not the fact that we did a tournament, but just the fact that we got everybody together. We met everybody. Uh, some of us even partied, which was kind of surreal as well. Um, has it kind of hit you yet that like we flew out there, we hung out for a week, and we had the time of our lives?
Well, I was gonna say, we just bought the shindigweddingplanning.com domain. So if anyone out there needs a wedding planner, we'll give you a discount, and we actually have a Shindig discount code card. So yeah, it is surreal. It's kind of an out of body experience. I mean, I met you and Derek 2 years ago, probably something like that, and we finally met in person. You met a lot of the community that flew in from SoCal. We had, Brendan and Bry from the Duffin Up crew fly out from Boston. It's incredible that people flew out, and I think everyone was just chopping at the bit because we've known each other in a lot of cases like very good friends. It's like
Mhm.
the old AOL, AIM days or gamer tags from, PlayStation or Sega. Uh, Although we're dating ourselves there, maybe a little bit past it. Diablo,
I never had
Baldur's
a
Gate.
Sega.
Yeah,
I never
that
had,
must.
yeah, I never had
Then
AOL or AIM either.
Okay, so my references are just out the window here.
Oh, I know what
Um
they are, but like, yeah,
yeah,
I didn't experience that.
it was a time. I mean, what was your junior high, chat room?
So I never had, so here we call junior high middle school. Um, so that was grades like 6 through 8 was middle school. I never really had one. That was kind of like the rise of Facebook for us anyways.
Hmm.
Um, but like, yeah, a lot of my friends, we would just go hang out and talk. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have like a smartphone until high school. That's kind of when they started to become like the poppin' thing. And then,
Hmm.
yeah, it just kind of took off. We're all just DMing each other. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. A lot of us did know each other for a long time. Um, I think Beard said it best. The first time we met Beard, we were playing, was it Shrunken Gardens? He goes, man, it feels like I've known you my entire life. And I was like, dude, social media is crazy.
It really is. And we were joking earlier. You guys flew out, and we had all these plans to play like a couple rounds of golf a day, and we only played a round together at Shrunken Gardens and Sleepy Sunnyvale, which was a ton of fun, and our favorite Twilight shift with Beard and Big Derek and Bry from the local Odin crew. So it was great, and I think just people had a magical experience the whole weekend, and I think it was a love fest. It was just it checked all the boxes. A lot of people like you guys, you flew out. It was not only for the shindig, but also part holiday. So you guys were able, like the Giants game and Alcatraz, and seeing the Golden Gate with the mist, taking some
Uh,
epic pics.
yeah, that was it was still so surreal because I think I've said it before, but this whole thing was like a bucket list thing for me. Like I've always wanted to go to San Francisco. I've always wanted to see Alcatraz. I've always wanted to see the Golden Gate. So for me, it was very, for lack of a better word, romantic. Um,
Hmm.
and I know you're like, Dom, I'm so sorry it's foggy. And I was like, shut up. I wanted this. I wanted the experience. I wanted the mist. I wanted everything that San Francisco was. And for the most part, we got it. I mean, the weather was beautiful. You said as soon as we left it rained. So go me on the timing. Um, yeah, I mean, really it was great. Like, yeah, we did only play one round together, but Beard and I, plus Derek and Brendan, played Half Moon Bay. And that was probably it's probably gonna be one of my favorite rounds of golf I've ever played. I didn't shoot very well, but just the experience with them and getting to talk to Beard the whole day was super fun. Um, the Giants game was beautiful. Beard played like show no, he was a tour guide for us and Juju was there
Mm-hmm.
as well. So they were so happy to show us
Mm-hmm.
around. It's still a little surreal to me, but I can't wait to do the next one and hopefully it gets better and better. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to recap it for everybody who couldn't be there. And for everybody who was there, I hope it does bring back kind of those warm, fuzzy feelings of meeting everybody again.
Definitely. And even as a starter, just knowing the behind the scenes, half jokingly about the wedding planning, planning some massive event. We do, for Odin, we have our community events, which are like mini weddings. And this was a wedding on steroids from the planning and all the behind the scenes, the non-sexy stuff, 99% of it. We looked at probably, would you say 8 or 10 different places around the country for where we're gonna do the shindig, and obviously we ended up on the Bay Area, and I like you said, it couldn't have been a better place to start because for you and Derek, the history of wanting to go there, and so the planning of it. I mean, we looked at Arizona, we looked at Florida, we looked at SoCal. It was kind of a long process, a 10-month process in a way, finding we came back to kind of the home turf of the Bay Area for Odin.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Like, I'm sure a lot of people know we worked hard, but I don't think a lot of people know the extent that this was. I mean, the first, what, 2 or 3 months, we were pretty convinced this was gonna be in Arizona.
Hmm.
And then we just kept hitting dead end after dead end after dead end. And then we were like, well, why don't we switch it? Why don't we go local? Why don't we do the Bay Area? For me, that was a little bit more comforting because we've developed relationships with people out there where it's like worst case scenario, if the tournament sucks, we can still hang out with people. It's still gonna be a good time for us. But I didn't think the tournament would ever suck. Yeah, we had some weird little issues, but that wasn't our fault. But excuse me, I don't think I ever burped either. Ooh. Um, yeah, going I don't think we could have done any better going back to the Bay Area and just all the familiar faces.
Definitely. I think Arizona, I mean, all the places we looked, Arizona, I think we looked in Florida, we looked in LA, we looked at a lot of different places, which we probably, we want to take Shindig on the road, a la Lollapalooza and Coachella. That I think that's part of our vision, which we get into. But it
Do
was
like a Shindig World Tour.
Shindig World Tour, and obviously with our concert tees and hoodies, paying homage to the music scene. And actually, you're the one that incubated that with the classic 80s hair metal concert that you went to.
Yeah, so a good friend of mine and I went to a concert here in Minnesota. It was at US Bank, and it was Joan Jett, Poison, Motley Crue, and Def Leppard. And I remember we were having our, it felt like a weekly meeting, but it was really like bi-weekly or whenever we needed it. We were having a meeting, and I don't remember who said, "Hey, should we do shirts?" And I was like, "Well, hey, why don't we do like a concert tee?" Everybody loves music, everybody loves a concert, and to me, this was so much more than a tournament or a shindig. It felt like a concert where everybody was just having a good time. There was the main act being the shindig, but then there are all these other little groups within it. So, um, it was my idea. I can't take full credit though because Big Phil did a fantastic job making the design and getting the graphics set up. I'm wearing the hoodie.
Hell yeah. There we
So,
go.
you got to represent when you can. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, no, I really think they turned out great. Um, And yeah, then from that it sprouted hats, shirts. Brian from Duffin Up wanted a crew neck, so bam, we got him a crew neck. Seeing him wear the crew neck to me was another like surreal experience. I was like, dude, we designed that, and now somebody's wearing it. So that was super cool.
Yeah, he was eat sleep crew neck. He's the whole weekend he was in that thing pretty much except the round.
I told him I was like, dude, you told us you wanted a crew neck, so we did crew necks. He goes, I don't know why you guys listened to me. I was like, because it was a good idea, and really, it wasn't too much more work. Um, at least that I'm aware of. But he goes, yeah, I don't know why my voice has so much volume. I was like, shut up, take your crew neck, and love it. So, yeah, I every time I saw him, he had that crew neck on.
He was just ecstatic the whole weekend. He was also letting loose a little bit, which we were happy to see. A lot of people were on holiday, they're grinding it out and working, and this was kind of a let loose weekend. Luke is another example, being in the Marines and just having an immensely difficult schedule and a hell of a career that he was able to fly up here from San Diego, which was very cool.
Yeah, Luke was like, dude, I don't know if I can make it. And just kind of through keeping him in the loop with things, he goes, okay, I'm in. I got the time off. I booked the flight. I was like, sick. Stay with
Yeah.
us in the Airbnb. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yes, it'll be cheaper. You have the time of your life. Um, we had never really met Luke, and obviously on the pod he was sitting down. So when he stood up, I was like, oh my God, dude's a brick house. Um,
Yeah.
my favorite thing with Luke, and it wasn't even Luke. It was after the Shindig. I was at the table with Luke. Um, I think Derek was there for a little bit, but then it was with Devin and then Devin's crew. Devin's like, dude, you got to get him on the pod. I was like, he's been on the pod. That's how we know each other. He goes,
Hmm.
what? I was like, yeah, he's been on the pod. He goes, well, where's the video? I was like, that was before we were doing YouTube and everything, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, are you lying to me? I was like, no, he's been on the pod. So it's one of those things where it's just like, that's how I met Luke was on the podcast. We had him on. This is Luke from Backblast Golf. Don't know if I said it, but fantastic guy. Killer
Yes.
mustache.
Oh, unreal.
Unreal. It almost feels like he's not a real person. Like he talks to you and his mannerisms, you're like, the dude's like a legend, just like walking around.
I loved his Jack in the Box taco. What did he call it? Dog food in a
Manila.
manila envelope.
Yep, he said it's dog food in a deep fried manila envelope with a piece of cheese.
He's an incredible character. I wish he had stayed longer. I think
Oh,
we
so do
we
I.
would have gotten into some mischievous things with him.
That's kind of why I'm happy he left, because yeah, I don't know what would have happened. But I
I'm
have a
sure Beard
funny,
would agree with that.
oh, for sure. I have a funny story about Brian actually. So Friday night we were all out drinking, it's what we do. I think this was our second stop, and he and I were feeling it pretty good. He goes,
Hmm.
Dom, you gotta go check out this bathroom. And I was like, I could go pee. Like, why not? I'll go. And we're sitting there. He goes, dude, look at it in here. I'm like, Brian, it's a bathroom. And he goes, just you wait. We walk out the door and he goes, there's stairs. I was like, where do the stairs go? He goes, follow me. And lo and behold, there's like a whole nother like bar upstairs that does like live shows and music or whatever. And the
No
lady kind of
kidding.
looks at us like, what the hell are you doing? As I've got a drink in my hand and Brian's like pointing at all the lights. I was like, we should probably get back downstairs.
Which one was this at? Was this near
Is
San
that
Pedro?
the Yeah, it was at the Irish place.
Oh, Flatteries.
O'Flaherty's, yeah.
O'Flaherty's. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently upstairs they do like some kind of live show or whatever, and the lady kind of looked at us like, "You two don't belong here." And I was like, "I feel like I
Yeah.
don't belong here."
Couple Ritas deep.
I only had one Rita, but then people kept handing me high noons because
Hmm.
that's all. So Luke doesn't drink beer or anything; he only drinks seltzers. I did not know that going into this week. Um, and yeah, I never saw him with a beer. It's only seltzers, and he goes, "I bought an extra one," and I was like, "I'll take one for the team. I'll drink it." And then he just keeps buying extras and giving them to me. And then we get to the next spot, and Brian's like, Dom, you're not paying for anything tonight. I got you. So we're drinking more of the high noons. And it was just, yeah, seeing everybody let loose was super fun. I watched Beard on the dance floor, which was a whole experience. Um, and then seeing Brian just giggle all night was worth it.
See, I had no idea. I Patricia Callahan, shout out, yesterday said that you guys went dancing at the end. I
Hmm.
had no idea.
Yeah, I think it's called the Brit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Never
Mm-hmm.
been there. I'm new to all this.
That's a
Um,
beard special.
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, all I remember is Patricia kept yelling, Dom, prom pictures. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't go to prom. Like, what are you talking about? And she just kept trying to get nice pictures with people. But every picture I was in with her, somehow Beard was like screwing it up a little bit. And it was, to me, that's what made the entire night was just the fun, the energy. Um, when we left to get in the Uber, it sounds like Derek had asked Luke if he wanted to come with. And Luke said, no, I'll go back with whoever. So we left and we're on our way back in the Uber, and Beard's like, hey, you left Luke. And we're like, no, we didn't. Luke said he's coming back later. And he goes, oh, well, then Luke's waiting outside for somebody. And I was like, well, it ain't us. So we got back and he goes, we drinking still? And I was like, I guess. So just little moments like that. I was like, this is awesome. Like just seeing everybody.
Yeah. It's great that I think the four of us planning it, our goal was not only the golf is great, but as we always say, it's about getting the band together. And this was something a little bit bigger because we had known each other. There was history, but the amount of satellite events that happened. I mean, you guys flew in Wednesday night, and then we went to the city on Thursday, and then we did the Twilight Shift round. And it just from there till you guys left on Tuesday was nonstop. And it was just incredible to see all the groups just put stuff together. And that was really our one of our original goals, right?
Hmm. Yeah, so we flew in Wednesday. We left Minneapolis around noon. Um, I think our flight out was at 11:45. I think we were in SFO probably around 5-ish, and that's kind of where the adventure started. Derek had rented the car, and we were one of the four rental places not attached to SFO. So now we have to figure out how we get our suitcases and our golf clubs to the rental car. And mind you, I don't travel light. I had to bring a bunch of stuff that we had to use. So each bag I have is close to 50 pounds. And I'm just like lugging them around, not having a good time. And we finally get there, we get the car, and then that's adventure number two is we're like, oh, cool, we'll get a sedan. And then they're like, hey, do you want a Challenger? And I could see Derek's face go, whoa.
He
And then
lit
I'm
up
like,
like a fucking Christmas tree.
yeah. He's like, I'm like, Derek, we can't fit everything in a Challenger. Like, as fun as it would be for the week, we can't fit two golf bags, two suitcases, and then eventually Shindig stuff in Jordan. There's no way. And he goes, you're right. So we ended up getting a Forerunner, which was honestly perfect for everything we needed to
Hmm.
do. Um, get to the crib, we pulled up, we're like, are we in the ghetto? And then that was a whole nother thing, but we get there and we're just like, what do we do? Straight to Target. I was like, I
Hmm.
feel like I'm at home. Um, and then we went back and made a pizza. It was late. We just ate it, went to bed. And then the next morning was Thursday, correct? Yes. That is when we met you for the first time. And we pull up to this house and we're like, are we in the right place? And then we just see Jordan stand up and wave. I was like, we're in the right place. That's it. And it just like just clicked. So that was kind of when it first got real for me. Because I mean, I could have dreams and be like, oh, I'm in Florida, no big deal. But when you start to meet somebody you've talked to for almost 2 years, probably a little bit longer at this point, it's just like it's a flood of emotions.
Hmm. It really was. And then we went to the Golden Gate. When you got there, did you expect it to be bigger? Was it the size you expected? What did you and Derek think about it?
So I guess you couldn't see me because you were in the back. Um,
Hmm.
I was like, oh my God. So like, I knew it'd be a big bridge, right? Everybody says it's big. Obviously, there's all sorts of history and stuff about it. Driving over it, I was like, oh my God, it's way bigger than I thought. The Bay Bridge is bigger than I thought it was. Holy smokes. We didn't go over it, but I looked at it from across the bay.
Hmm.
It goes through an island.
Hmm. Treasure Island. Yeah.
I was like, what in the world? But yeah, going up that road to that viewpoint you took us to, like it just like the anticipation in me just built up. The photographer in me was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited." And I could have sat there all day and just looked at it. It was we don't have anything like that here in Minnesota. Like, I can't think of anything that's like that other than like the Great Lakes. Those are overwhelming to look at. To me, it's kind of what the Golden Gate was, and I had always wanted to see it. So it was super cool to just like check it off my bucket list. Um, and then we took a picture in front of it, and I don't know if I told you, but I found like a little picture frame, and it has the Golden Gate, and then the picture sits on the gold and on the bridge basically. So I'm gonna get that developed of us three and put it on my desk with the little, it's like a 6-inch Golden Gate bridge that holds a picture. So that's gonna be super cool.
That's amazing. I mean, with the amount of camera equipment you had, you probably could have started a side business up on that viewpoint.
Did you see the guy? You might have been taking a leak or talking to Derek. He was like super interested in what I was doing, and there's definitely a language barrier between he and I. But he saw my camera and was like, "Ooh," talking about my F1, my film,
Yeah,
and I took pictures of him holding my camera. I don't know if you saw that
I
or not.
saw that. Yeah, he's I think from France, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw his I could see from afar. There was no I was trying to take a lead against the highway with cars coming. I was ready to burst. But I did it for you guys getting up to the viewpoint. No civilization up there. I remember seeing his face light up and he was just enamored with your whole setup. You had a big tripod, you had a couple cameras, Derek with his biker shorts with 30 degrees out. So it just the whole thing just made it.
Yeah, he was like lit up when he saw my film camera, and he's like, "Can you take a picture of me holding it?" I was like, "Sure." Like, no one's ever asked me this, but like, yeah, I can do that. And then he looks at him, he goes, "No, you did it wrong." I was like, I think I did it right." He goes, "No, I want it more over here." And I'm like, "Well, then you have to move over there. Like, that's how this works." But
Hmm.
yeah, I've never seen somebody be so into one of my cameras, and that was super cool for me too. Um, but I got some killer shots. The barge that came through, honestly, was great. I got some with a sailboat, but that was a crazy experience. And then after that, we went and saw the was it the Doubtfire House?
Hmm.
And then we saw the Painted Ladies, which I got a really cool picture of.
Hmm. Yeah, we were talking that the ones that usually you see are tricked up and photoshopped and very acute colors, and this one was very natural. And then in the background, you had the mist coming through the Transamerica building and the Salesforce Tower. So that was very cool.
I don't like super edited and done up pictures. My style is very natural, and I don't want to say normal, but it is definitely a more of a wow, I could go see it and it look like that type of picture. Um,
Hmm.
I've also never seen one how I did it where there's the background of San Francisco with the mist and everything, and I definitely took the more normal shot where it's straight on, but then I wanted it something a little bit different. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Those have been turning out really good. Um, I think the only thing we did after that was we went to In-N-Out.
What's an In-N-Out, which you can give your rundown on? I know there was a Culver's comparison. That's kind of your litmus test, right, for the butter burger?
Yeah. Obviously we don't have any In-N-Outs here. We have Culver's and stuff like that. It was good. Like it wasn't it's not one of those places where I'm like, wow, I need to go again. Obviously if I'm back by one, I'll go, but it's not like, wow, I'm just itching for an In-N-Out burger. Um, I did like how fresh the veggies and the pickles were though. I
Yes.
was talking to somebody today. I bit into it and like the lettuce was cold. I was like, it's fresh and it's not like shredded
Hmm.
lettuce. It's like a head of lettuce. The pickles are super thick too, which I really like. 'Cause I really like pickles. Um, yeah, it was really good.
So you did a double double animal style, right? With no onions?
No onions. I forgot to say no tomato because the guy at the drive-thru was like grilling me about not having onions. So forgot about
Hmm.
the tomato because he kept saying, "Oh, no pickle." I'm like, "No, I want pickles. Give me the pickles."
Hmm.
Um, it was good though. I'm just not an onion and tomato guy, but
It's definitely In-N-Out is definitely something like you said with Culver's, you can come back to it a couple hours later and it's still good. In-N-Out is like Krispy Kreme. You got to have it off the press. Same with the
Mhm.
fries and milkshake if you do that. So, and Derek said that he had it in Vegas before, but it wasn't as good as the San Francisco one.
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas. Um, it's on my list to do eventually. Um, I think he was saying the one in Vegas that he went to was like right on the strip. So I'm
Hmm.
willing to bet it's just like they're getting it out and they're doing it
Yeah.
quick and it's probably not as good. I was surprised that it was pretty quick at the one we went to. I thought it'd take a little bit longer, but no, we had our stuff like right away.
It was, yeah, they have a well-oiled machine like Chick-fil-A. Like until that place closes, there's always a line out the door and the drive-through and even dine-in. I mean, it's unreal. Just that. I mean, and even when it opens, like at 11:30, people are already lining up. It's unreal. Is that the same with Culver's? Is it kind of a cult
I don't think
following?
so. Um,
Yeah.
every once in a while I'll go and have to sit in line, but like they give you like a number to put on your window if you're going to the drive-through. And then they just tell you to go pull off, just sit there and hang out for a little bit, and then they bring you your food that's like piping hot. So, um, I don't think it's quite to that extent. I feel like In-N-Out is, like you said, a cult where it's like people like drive from all over because they've heard of it or um saw it in a movie or something. But yeah, no, it was good. I like that it was attached to a Krispy Kreme too, because we don't have really any of those left here either.
Hmm. Do you feel like the burger debate, because we were telling people at the Shindig that we went, and there's the camp that's I love Five Guys or I love Shake Shack or I'm just Big Mac. Just I'm still a Big Mac person. Do you feel like
Yep.
that? What's the ranking for uh food debates, burgers, hot dogs, pizzas? Do you feel like burgers, where does burgers rank in food debates?
I mean, for me, I'm a burger guy. Um, I like a burger. Um, I don't like Derek will go places for like a steak. Steak doesn't really do anything to me or for me. It to me it's just a piece of meat, and I know that's gonna catch me some flack. I can already hear Greg from uh Pioneer 6 typing up his messages. Um, but I'm just a burger guy. Like there's something simple about it, but you can dress them up, you can dress them down. Um, for me, In-N-Out's definitely better than McDonald's. I like it a little bit better than Five Guys as well, just because I feel like Five Guys, I leave and I don't feel great, kind of bloated. But I would still put Culver's above it just because you don't have to eat it right away. You can drive home and know it's gonna taste the same.
Hmm.
I do like Shake Shack
And
though. There's one by where I work and it's always really good.
Yeah, yeah. They're all very good in their own way. It's I always think like the rabidness and the vigor of a burger debate, is that the same or more than a pizza debate or a hot dog debate or some other, fill in the blank of another food item. But burgers, I think the in and out cultness, church and state, West Coast and then the East Coast, I think Shake Shack obviously incubated on the East Coast, but made its way over. And I mean, you get it to like Chick-fil-A a little bit as well, versus like Popeyes, and KFC. I don't know if you could even throw KFC into that ring. And then
They have a
there's kind of a,
good they have a
yeah.
good sandwich. Yeah.
What if you're so for those three, do you guys have Popeyes?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Of
they're
those
all they're all
of
great in their
those,
own way.
yeah, I really like a Shake Shack's chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a little underrated if you ask me. Everybody talks about um Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, and so on and so forth, but nobody talks about the Shake Shack chicken sandwich. It's got lettuce, it's got pickles, has like a garlic aioli on it. It's super good.
Mm-hmm. The aioli is great. It's a good juxtaposition with the meat and the bun. If you can get that right, it kind of sops it up a little bit,
Mhm.
add some juiciness. The other thing that just came to mind that we talk a lot about, you being a big potato guy, is the French fry debate. Waffle, curly, shoestring. And again, I think they all have their merit, but if you're gonna do kind of a last meal on Earth, one of the side dishes is fries. What are you thinking?
So you could throw shoestring fries away. I don't think they really belong anywhere on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I
How
you
come?
because they're dumb. I don't know. You could throw them away and I would miss them. Um,
Do you,
I
but
like
let me defend them. There's a romantic side to that where you kind of in and out fries have this little bit where you grab a bundle of like six or seven and you kind of shoehorn them in a little bit. There's something about, I don't know, there's something about that where you get it like a grease blast with
hmm
some flavor mixed in. I get like, if you're gonna eat one or two of those things, like at the bottom bucket, and it's just like little crispy pieces, like the In and Out have this. I could see how it's just like, yeah, there's no substance here. But again, if there's a full bucket and you're eating one or two, I feel like you're selling yourself short.
Yeah, I would still rather get just about anything else than
Right. You'd rather
shoestring.
pack a
Yeah.
punch with like a waffle fry or
Or like a tot or
right.
I don't you probably can't consider those fries, but even just like a potato fry or the
Mm-hmm.
steak fries, the thicker ones where it's just like a
Yeah.
potato. I would rather do something like that. I think crinkle cut fries are underrated. Nobody gives them any love. That's what Culver's has. I
Mm.
love a good waffle fry though. But then like curly fries are also really good.
Mm-hmm. The JoJo potatoes from KFC are good. They're so the other rub with all that is the heaviness factor. So a JoJo potato from KFC is very heavy. A tot could potentially be very heavy, but while a waffle fry is heavy, it's almost not. It's
I think it's
it,
because I think it's because you can see through them. That's my theory.
yeah, yeah. The tic-tac-toe
hmm
feature, yeah, it gets some air, goes down well. With and then the Wendy's fries with the skin on them, those are very good, dipped in the Frosties.
I like those.
Now, will you dip the chicken nugget in the Frosty too?
No,
Okay.
I don't dip anything in the frosty.
Mm,
I'm not about that.
it's a standalone. Yeah.
I get it, but yeah, it's just not for me. That's all. Nothing
Hmm.
wrong with it. I definitely understand the sweet and salty and everything, but no, I'd rather just have a frosty or a fry or a chicken nugget or whatever.
I love your food separation. You got a big ass Taco Bell box earlier before the pod, and we were talking about the dipping of the tacos in the nacho cheese. Is there ever an occasion other than a chip where you would dip, a larger mass of food in any sort of sauce?
I like to dip burgers in ketchup. I Something I've always done is just like dunk it. Um so I this will kind of get us back on track, but at Half Moon Bay I had a breakfast burrito
Mm-hmm.
and super good. I don't know if you've ever been there and had their breakfast burrito. It's very good. And I had the salsa on the side, and Brendan kind of looked at me funny. He was like, "Why'd you get on the side?" I was like, "Cause then I could take my burrito and dunk it into the salsa." And he goes, "But what if
Here,
it's But he goes, "Well, if it's perfectly evenly spread out." I'm like, "I'm not taking that risk. I still want to dunk it."
here's my biggest gripe with something like that. I'm with you. The burger and the ketchup or the breakfast burrito and the sauce. I feel like more times than not, the casing of the sauce was not big enough where you're dipping it and then the food gets in and burger chunks or egg or like, pieces of bacon get in there, which is great because you can kind of sop them up. But it's the delivery of it and also you're golfing. So it's and even when you're sitting down at a table, it's just the vehicle of which it's delivered. I think there's a business there to keep the contents in, a burger between the patty and a tortilla for the breakfast burrito, but also you can have your cake and eat it too, sauce wise.
Yeah, I don't know how I ate that thing golfing and didn't make a mess. Um, but it was super good. What's funny is when I sat down and ate after the Shindig, you you can find pictures of me with like Ralph and Raul. There's definitely food on my sweatshirt, and I'm still trying to get it off. Um, so apparently I can't eat at tables, but I can eat perfectly fine in a golf cart.
Well, I think if you can do that, it's kind of your oyster beyond that. But the moon, the food at the moon. So we had our first Odin day at the moon when we first started at the ocean course, 16 people, and so we the place is just unreal. It's a bucket list course. The food's great. Obviously, it's a Ritz, so they keep it on the higher end. How would you rate that breakfast burrito to some of the other places you've been to?
I don't think I've ever had a breakfast burrito on a golf course. So right now it's the standard in terms of
Mm-hmm.
just overall breakfast burritos. It's up there. I mean, it needed a little salt, but I mean, I think they made it fresh. It
Mm-hmm.
had hash browns, eggs, cheese, and then sausage. And then I had the salsa on the
Mm-hmm.
side just so I could dip it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really warm. I had to wait for it to cool down a little bit, but it was really good. Like I was, for the price, I was like, God, this thing better not suck. But then after his first couple bites, I was like, this is like a bargain. Like it was super good.
Was that salsa on the chunkier side?
No, it was smooth.
It was a smooth one. See that I think smooth is a must for a breakfast burrito because you already have the chunkiness factor and you
Hmm.
need the smoothness to kind of to seep through all the contents. So you get the stuff on top with the bite and then the flavor profile starts to develop as the salsa goes through.
What's funny is in the burrito, they also give you, I don't know if they did it for Brendan, but for me, they gave me a little Tapatio packets.
Mm,
So I threw
mm-hmm.
them in my jacket pocket. I'll think about it. So when I was taking all of my stuff out of my travel bag, I reached in the jacket and there were Tapatio packets. So that'll be a fun little snack later with breakfast burrito or a hash or whatever.
Yeah, good thing they didn't open up though.
Yeah, that would have been bad. But at least they were like inside of the jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're gonna have that in the toolkit, I think Tapatio is so. I think you probably remember. So, Ice, Patricia Callahan, another shout out. She did Tapatio packets for one of the Odin days, and you ended up with a bag of those,
Yeah,
correct? I
you
think I
sent
did.
me a bag.
Then I sent you a bag.
Yeah, yeah, you sent me a bag with the ball holder prototype thingies that you sent out to some people. Um,
Yes.
I was gonna share them with Derek, but I was like, no. So I threw them all in my fridge. And as I needed them, I had them.
I think Ice and her mom Jean went to Costco, and I think I still have some in my house somewhere, probably like caked and some like bowel of the house, but um it's just it keep them in the golf bag, and for a breakfast burrito, I don't know what else you would use them for. I guess, Big Nelson tacos at the turn as that starts to grow. Yeah, it's great. I I I've always wondered though, Tabasco has taken a big back seat.
I don't like Tabasco.
Okay.
It's I just don't like the taste of it. It's not that it's too hot or it's not hot enough. I just don't like it. I can't put my finger on it. I don't like it. And I think it's because it's a pepper sauce versus a hot sauce.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't like it as much. I'll go out of my way to get actually on Amazon. I got two big things of Tapatio.
I mean, you're set for a while.
Yeah, like a week. Yeah.
Will you do things like sriracha or Frank's?
Yes to both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different foods, of course, but for different foods. Um, I remember in Berlin we couldn't get Frank's hot sauce for a while. Big Phil does a mean wing. We used to do wing nights, and I think we used to have to order them in the UK, or you could order them on US Amazon. I think now they sell them in stores in Germany because I think people put up a big fight and stink about it. But Frank's is just down and dirty, just a great wing sauce.
Hmm. Yeah, no, we'll do Frank's Buffalo is really good.
Hmm.
Um or oh, I can't think of it. There's another buffalo sauce we'll use, and they also make barbecue sauce. And I can't think of it. But yeah, we'll use Buffalo. Corn, the band with the K. They have their
Hmm.
own hot sauce, and it's really good.
You show me a hot sauce store that you did. It must have been 6 months ago, and there was one that you sent to Big Phil and I. I forget the name. It was I want to say like a heavy metal sauce. It was
That's the corn. Yeah.
That's the corn one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's literally good on
Which makes
anything.
sense.
I've put it on everything. It's been really good. It's not spicy and it's not hot, but it just has a really good taste.
Hmm. Because you were telling me you've had some where it's sometimes overpowering, where you lose sight of the food.
Yeah, I don't like when it's just hot. Like make it taste good, you know? I still want to enjoy my experience with it. Um, I had I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's the last dab, if you were familiar with hot ones at all. And it didn't taste good and it just burned my mouth. And it's like, why do people do this? And it's still sitting in the fridge. I should have brought some. I
Hmm.
should have brought it and have you just like fry your taste buds,
Probably could have used a bit of a kick in the pants through all the Shindig planning.
especially in that
By the way, did
morning.
you? Oh, I know. Yeah, we were running on adrenaline. By the way, did you guys have Mexican food when you were here?
No, I had Taco Bell and that was it.
Okay.
I
We were
think
gonna do a couple local taquerias, I think, and we just couldn't make it happen, I think.
Yeah, and I know when it was after having bed, they're like, "Oh, let's go eat," and I'm like, "I need a nap," and went back to the Airbnb. It's like, "Oh, Dom, you're awake. We can go eat," and I was like, "No, I'm gonna go take a nap." And
Mm-hmm.
I think they thought I was kidding until I literally went and lay down on my bed and shut my door and took a nap. They all left, and I think they went to Famous Dave's. And
Mm.
I was like, I needed a nap. So if I was awake, I probably would have fought for some kind of taqueria or taco or something. But no, I'm like, I just need a nap. Whoever put Derek in charge of making an 8:10 tea time and it taking like an hour to get there should not have left Derek in charge for that because I was not a very happy camper.
On the bright side, literally, you guys had an unreal day there weather-wise because it can get very foggy over at the moon.
The morning started off kind of foggy and it the sun did come out and it just kind of burned everything away. And then it was just really nice. Um, I don't think I ever took my hoodie off either, which was kind of nice to just kind of play golf like that. Um, but yeah, playing with Beard, he kept trying to tell me to hit it in certain places, and then he would hit it there and it'd be a bad spot. So I quit listening to him. Um, and then I also learned that I hate the Duffin Up Odin balls. No offense. Every time I hit them, they would shank. So I am not touching those things again.
What did Brendan say?
He said he agreed with me and he said I should not touch them again. And I said I will gladly stop playing them.
Did you give him the rest of them, or
No, I offered and he said no, they're not lucky today. And I said that's fair. But as soon as I would play like a sucker pinball or a say a par ball or just a regular Odin ball, I was fine. So there's some kind of bad juju with the deafen up balls.
what's the mascot? Dougal?
Yeah, Dougal. Also, you hit Dougal twice and he's gone. So I don't know if it's a weird thing with the paint or all the different colors, but yeah, Dougal was like shredded off the balls.
Not a happy camper, Dougal.
No, I hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, yeah, he got smacked around a little bit.
Poor guy. Yeah, there's definitely some donations out there with Dougal on them.
Well, love the marketing material.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, one of the perks of the Shindig. Everyone's just emptying their bags out with Odin darts.
Yeah, that was super cool to see on the course because I think towards the end of it, people quit picking up their balls. So I drove by one. I'm like, oh, there's an Odin ball. I'm like, what are the odds of that? And then I was like, oh, wait, the odds are pretty high of that today. But I found one that was pretty cool.
I did see that. Uh, I guess it makes sense for a scramble for pace of play that people are just, if it's out there, I'm not going to go spend time looking for it.
Yeah. Um, we should probably talk about the Shindig because I feel like we've talked about everything other than the Shindig. Um, it was pretty good. Like, obviously, there are things that looking back at it now, probably not so good, but everybody had a great time. It was literally a vibe seeing everybody smile and have fun. I mean, I met Daniel Alvarez, who we've chit-chatted on Instagram for a long time now. That was super cool. Um, the Golferos were there. Nelson came up and gave me a hug. It, all of these people I've been talking to for such a long time, and to meet them in person was like an out of body experience for a little bit. Yeah, we met Wheels. That was probably my favorite part. Everyone's like, I think it was probably weird. He's like, hey. And then we heard a whistle and he goes, he's here. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, is there royalty? And he goes, Wheels. And Wheels is just waving. I was like, what is going on?
It was a love fest for sure.
Yeah, no, that was the moment that stuck out to me because I was like, why is everybody stopping? And then I just hear Wheels. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Does that happen every time?
It does. Yeah, Gare Wheels shout out from Sucker Pen Society with Beard. We it's like it's magical when he arrives, and it's a very rare occasion. He has a full plate with kids and work,
Hmm.
and so we're always excited when he's out, and it's just the whole group coming together. I think the vibe we like to put out is obviously come one, come all from a brand standpoint, but just this is just it should be like a fun, like long lost brother cousin kind of vibe. You come in and you're hugging, you're having a couple pops, you're golfing on our terms, of course. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
that's a big thing. But it was, I think everyone was just chomping at the bit, and I think the people, you guys and the many others that traveled in, there's the excitement, and then the local crew having all of you guys come in was incredible. So, and then breaking bread after it off the rails, which was cool with the pops and the grub, which was great. So, but you're right, with these things, I mean, if you talk to anyone, again, call back to a wedding planner or a concert venue, a band manager, there's always stuff behind the scenes that we as hosts see and experience that didn't go great, but everyone else externally, loved it, and it was, it checked boxes for everyone, and everyone can't wait till the next one. So there's for sure tons of things that we can improve on, or things that didn't work well with the course, or whatever what the thing is. But all in all, for first out of the gate Shindig, I think it was everyone was just through the roof.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was lucky enough. I don't want to say I was lucky enough, but I did get to play the last five holes with um Beard, Ice, and Juju because unfortunately Wheels had to dip because like you said, he's got a full play, he's got two kids. I totally understood. Um it was I don't know how to describe the five holes because one, it took forever. Two, I don't think I've ever had so much fun playing five holes of golf in my life. Um obviously, whenever I'd roll up on somebody, they'd kind of figure out who I was. Like I was a host and everything. Especially since it looked weird because I didn't have my own clubs. So I was playing beards and beards are all bent and everything. And it was weird. Um, but everybody was so welcoming and accommodating. Um, one of the holes, there was a big long line for it, and it was super funny. So we're all just kind of mingling amongst each other. Somewhere along the lines, I was given a Modelo. That's probably by Brendan. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to somebody and I hear a couple of carts back, it's like Alfaro's. They're like, Dom. I was who is that? And then I wave at them. They're like, you drinking a Modelo? I was like, yeah, I am. They go, you come to the carne asada cookout? And I was like, am I invited? And they go, absolutely. And I was like, let's go.
Incredible.
So it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's just like the camaraderie was there. Just lots of little moments like that were just like you wouldn't get at a normal course playing a normal event. Um, yeah, and
Also,
obviously,
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that you couldn't have picked a better group to pay five holes with. I if I'm gonna choose a group, like we obviously we love everyone, but the Juju Ice Beard combo with Gareth thrown in when he's available,
hmm.
it just hits different. It's just a magical group of people, and also it's just no frills. Don't take things too seriously. Play some great golf, which you guys did. It sounds like you kind of came out of the gate with a couple pars, which is great.
Yeah. But yeah, that group was good. I think
Hmm.
another group that if given the chance, I would like to have played with like the Golferos.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think that group was super fun to watch them, and then the group that Eric the Hopped On was in.
Oh yeah. Oh, another amazing one. I mean,
There are so many
any
good
group.
crews.
Oh man, any group. Yeah. It's just the crew that came together. It was couldn't have been better, really. It was
Who is the
amazing.
who
Yeah.
is the crew with the Yeti on the top of their cart?
Oh, that that's another one. Big Paul Hill, Splash Birdie's crew from SoCal. Just I I I they just they're in a league of their own. Unreal with the Yeti on the roof. I don't know how they pulled that off because
That was
sometimes
a
a lot of
big
courses
Yeti too.
that's a big Yeti. A lot of courses are pretty strict about that stuff. And but yeah, Big Paul, just incredible crew, and they that's what we wanted. We wanted people to come in and just vibe, have fun, play some great fun golf. But I think I didn't have any, but I saw some reels after. I think he had like specific golf beer. We need to
Oh,
ask him where it said like golf beer on it, and just characters, just a great crew.
yeah, that one was super fun. There are lots of personalities out there. Obviously, we had the group with Thick, Louis,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, and then Louis's dad. Um,
Yes.
that one is
Amazing.
probably a riot as well.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, I mean, obviously playing with Ice for a little bit and Juju and Beard was it was such a fun experience. And then to cap it off in the last hole we played, I believe it was hole two, we took my drive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I contributed, took 5 holes, but I did it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I don't think they ended with like a great score. I think they were like 2 under or something, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just a blast. And you could tell they had like genuinely a good time, which is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. And we should say the winning score was 13 under, and then second place 12. There were, I think, one or two 11s. There were a bunch of 10s. So
Hmm.
it was very neck and neck, I'd say.
It was the most lighthearted, competitive thing I've ever seen
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really feel like anybody would have been upset if they won or lost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was a blast. I wish I could have played a little bit more, but I was happy just to be able to help throw an event that brought so many people together from all around the country and um stuff like that, and got to meet a lot of great people and make connections. It's really all what it's all about.
And the latest thing, if you head to the Save Par profile, Juju, the putting contest winner. How about that, huh?
Jude, yeah, I mean, I think Juju's like I don't know how to describe Juju. Like if I had to describe her, I don't think I could. And that is not in like a mean way. I like from the bottom of my heart, I don't think I could. She's just like a magical human being.
Mm-hmm.
She actually made me cry. I
Mm.
didn't tell anybody that, but um she sent me a message. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss you guys. And she's like, Dom, you will be so missed. We loved having you. And I was like, don't do that because I'm not gonna leave. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it made me cry a little bit. I'm getting a little teary-eyed now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that video is, I mean, you could tell just how excited she was to drain that. The first putt she had was pretty close. Like I was like, okay, like watching it. Obviously, you can see me in the background not paying attention. I think Brendan and I were talking about something. I don't know. Um, and then you see Devin kind of give her a little bit of a read, like, hey, aim here. And to give credit to Juju, she did it. She aimed exactly where he
Mm.
told her to aim, and the putt dropped.
Lights out.
Oh, just a ringer. I
Mm-hmm.
told that group, I'm like, she's your ringer. You don't know it yet, but she's your ringer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. We probably watched it over 20 times. If you're listening or watching this, like, go to the Save Par profile. As Derek, what did Derek call it? The greatest show on grass.
Something like that. I don't think we can call it the greatest show on turf. We might get hit with some kind of copyright strike from the Rams.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it has almost 34,000 views. So, and then obviously to for the putting contest, we gave away a Wilson driver courtesy of Wilson. So shout out
Mm-hmm.
Wilson. I don't think they're gonna listen, but shout out Wilson. They sent us I believe 2 fairway woods and then the new Dyna Power driver, which looked real mean. It looked really good. Um, and then if you sunk the putt, your name would be entered to win the driver, basically. I don't know who else sunk it because I think after she did it, I think people caught on and a couple others drained it as well. We ended up picking Juju's name out of the bucket, and Juju won the driver. She's like, I don't need a driver. She gave it to Luke from Back Blast so Luke can give it to his dad. And that was one of the best moments of the Shindig.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, that's better than winning or watching the winning team celebrate. Watching the expression Luke got from that and Luke saying,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 and Juju saying, yes, take this.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but then Luke hit an absolute just like piss missile of a drive to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate. Like that man is
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, that's probably the best part.
It just an incredible finish, and then obviously we went to Off the Rails after, which was great, and they were very hospitable, and they
Hmm.
brewed their own beer, and the food was great. You think you and I had Bergs, right?
I had a burger, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, weirdly enough, I didn't have a beer, which looking back, I probably should have. Um, but the burger was good. It was very well made and put together. Somehow, some way, I didn't take my debit card back. So the guy came over, he goes, "Here, take this." And I was like, "I don't want it." He goes, "It's your card." And I was like, "Oh, I definitely want that." Um, yeah, it was super good. Seeing everybody and just being able to chit chat more about it. And it definitely we talked more about like personal lives at Off the Rails, which is super cool. So that was super fun. The food is really good.
Yeah. Food's great. And looking ahead a little bit, we all put a story out today and yesterday around, where should we hold the next shindig? And we got some pretty cool ideas.
So if it were up to me, and it's not up to me because this is definitely a team effort. I want to go to Oregon. That has been my vote for a long time. I think Oregon, it's definitely not an untapped treasure, but it is something that I think a lot of people are looking for an excuse to go to. So why not make us that excuse? Um, Arizona would be cool as well, but I think I don't really want to plan anything for Arizona anymore after the frustration that we had with this go around. But definitely would love to go to the Pacific Northwest and just see all the sights. Portland would be cool. Seattle and Washington would be cool too. Otherwise, let's bring it home. Let's bring it to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my home and Derek's home, not your home, but we can make it your home.
I mean, the amount of times we talk about it, food, the nature, the quality of life, I mean, we were talking with Beard, we're there. I think it's on the list.
There's a lot of hidden little gems for courses out here. The weather is beautiful this time of year. It was like 88 and sunny today. I mean, I told you when we got on, or we had like a half hour conversation before we even started the pod. It was warmer here than it was where you are. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely a little hidden gem. I think it's a little bit harder to get people to Minnesota at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to take it to somewhere more popular, I'm not saying we have to like go to like Bandon or anything, but why not make it some
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool destination again? Or like I said, right, right before we left, Cancun, like somewhere kind of crazy, but that might be like a 5 or 10 year thing.
The 10-year anniversary, we could do it.
I'm down for Cancun.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be pretty cool. Or we just do it in Germany.
Germany, Ireland, Scotland, do a big over the pond steez.
Italy would be cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
I've just
I
never seen any.
Yeah, I'm with you. It would be cool. Obviously, there are destination places like AZ and California, NorCal, SoCal. I think given kind of the vibe of like getting everyone together for not only the golf but other stuff, that's one of the reasons why I liked it about for with you and Derek always wanting to go to San Francisco and NorCal. an excuse to do that, not only for the tournament, but check some other boxes too. I'm with you. I think like for me personally, growing up in Northern California, I have not been up there, and I feel terrible that it's so close and it's a short plane ride, but it's an excuse to go explore a new place, but also combine it with a great crew and some golf, right?
Right. And I remember you were like, yeah, you've never been to Alcatraz. And then you went to Alcatraz. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how have you never, like, dude, you were right there.
I
Um,
know.
but yeah, it's like I've always wanted to see Oregon and Washington. I've heard it's always been beautiful. Um, that's why when we were like, hey, let's move it away from Arizona, I was like, well, why don't we put it somewhere in California? Never been there. I've always wanted to go to California. Had a blast, will definitely be back. And Juju said I can sleep at their house. So yeah, you'll find me there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, why not keep crossing off little bucket list places to throw these, at least for now, until we run out of places. Um, I know personally, I want to see every baseball stadium. I want to see a game at every stadium. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very thankful I could cross off Oracle to see a Giants
Mm-hmm.
game. Beautiful day.
Yes.
If we do Seattle, I can see a Mariners game. Um,
Yeah.
but I will sacrifice baseball if it means we can go to like Portland or just somewhere stunning.
Mm-hmm. Like Bend or yeah.
Bend would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the call to action here really is send us ideas. I mean, we did a couple stories today, but if people have ideas and by the way, everyone's welcome. I mean, the other cool thing we do is we just open up the signups and
Oh yeah.
the this one I think sold out very quickly in less than an hour, but we want everyone to be involved. And the other cool thing too with you we did with this is we were able to add on a couple extra groups last minute, and we build in the flexibility to be able to do that. So if people have ideas on places, or even in Oregon, like recommendations, if you're listening, yeah, we're
This is,
we're we're all ears. We're gonna start the planning phase for next year.
this is us asking Jeff without saying we're asking Jeff from Chasing
Right.
Aces. Jeff, if you
Big
have any
Jeff.
recommendations, let us know. If you live in Oregon, let us know. I don't know if Gigi listens, but Gigi, if you have a recommendation, let me know. Um, you know my messages. Just shoot me one. Um, yeah, somewhere like that I think would be unreal. Where it's completely different. Nobody's been to. It would also present some kind of cool new challenges that we didn't really have to think about. Like the big perk to this one is, oh man, we got all these prizes. Ship them right to Jordan. Easy. This one, it's like, well, what are we gonna do? So that could be a cool kind of solution-based challenge that we could have to come up with. But is it too early to start planning the next one, or would that be
I
crazy?
think no, I think I mean, it took us we did have a couple hurdles to get over, but it took us 10 months to plan this. We were even joking before you guys left. We were like, "Oh, well maybe we do one in the fall this year." Theoretically, we could easily spin one out. I mean, they're a lot of work, but it's not rocket science. It's just a lot of nuances and details. But yeah, I think we start putting the feelers out there. We start incubating stuff, and now that we kind of have this thing cooking, I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can do for the next one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get crazy and take it to like Canada or something, or I don't know if that's crazy, but like Canada's kind of
Well,
quirky.
no idea is too wild in our book.
No, and that's scary.
I'm actually surprised. I'm happy that there were everyone came out alive, relatively unscathed. I think through the shindig.
Yeah, I'm surprised no golf carts were hurt, nobody crashed, especially with all the pops that were consumed, all the darts that
And
were
there was
being
a bunch
thrown.
left too. Didn't Brendan leave like a 30 banger of Modelo's at the Airbnb?
Yeah, we had to message the homeowners. We were like, "Hey, there is a ton of stuff in your fridge, and it's all alcohol." Like
What'd they say?
I I don't know, Derek did it.
Okay.
There were like cans of Ving, um, full banger of Modelo. There were like four or five Coronas left. Um, like a whole thing of whatever IPA Derek bought, and then a ton of Costco seltzers that Luke had bought. Um, yeah, honestly, it probably seemed like a frat house, but they left us a review and said that it was clean and gave us 5 stars and said that they'd happily rent to us again. So nobody was hurt, nobody was injured, and nobody died.
Amazing. By the way, you first time trying the Vings, how did you like them?
If I'm being honest, I didn't really like them. I'm not a huge vodka guy, and the vodka really came through on those. Um, I can see how people will like them though. I smuggled a couple home for my
Mm,
mom to try. I was able to wrap them up in some shirts in my bag and kind
mm-hmm.
of just tuck them in there to protect them. So I think she's excited to try them. I don't know if she has yet. Now that school's out for teachers, she might be a little more willing to let loose, but
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I don't know. I'll see when she tries them and I'll give you feedback that way, but I'm just happy that Bridget was able to send us stuff to give out to people and try.
Yes, yeah, Bridget and Ving Vodka is amazing. And I think they have a new can coming out soon. So, yeah, we're excited about that. We'll see how Jack Wellen likes it.
Jake Quellen.
Jake Wellen.
It's funny because she's a teacher and she
Uh-huh.
loves that Key and Peele skit. She loves the substitute names and everything. She loves it.
Uh-huh.
I've heard her
Yeah.
crack up to a couple of times watching it, and it's funny.
Are they still doing? Because Keen, I mean, they're obviously, direct, horror movies and doing other stuff.
That is
Um,
just that's just Jordan Peele.
yeah, Jordan Peele, and then
He's married to I didn't know this, but he's married to a Chelsea Peretti who was on
yes,
Brooklyn
yes,
Nine-Nine.
yes, yes,
She's
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh man, so good. So they have so many good sketches.
Have you seen the one with the hat where they keep outdoing each other with the hat?
I don't think I've seen that one.
So there's one where one of them goes sup and they got the hat with the stickers on it, and then the next one outdoes it with like the tag on it, and then the next one they have like the bag still on the hat, like the shopping bag, and then I think the final one is like a big like hat rack like display like from lids.
That's fun. It's heightened as it.
It gets
Oh,
more and more extreme.
yeah, I'll have to watch that. Yeah, I can. I'm chuckling thinking about it. I can imagine. Yeah,
I'll find it for you.
yeah. Some of them
It
very clever. Yeah,
it's one I kind of recently found and I was like, that's pretty good.
I gotta check that out. But
It's
well, Dom, it's been unreal planning with you guys. Incredible, and like I told you, we're gonna miss bombing it around with you around the Bay Area.
Yeah, no, the Bay surreal. I mean, it was so much fun. There was so much love. Um, it honestly felt like I was just going home, which was weird because I'll never leave Minnesota. I love it,
Hmm.
but I felt like I knew everybody, and I think the person I know the least is Patricia, and it was still just like an immediate, just hey, how are you? Big hug, um, just nothing but love from everybody. So it was super fun.
It's an amazing group of people, and we're just incredibly grateful for everyone that we're able to put it together. And we're it's nothing but exciting things ahead, I'd say.
Especially from all the sponsors who
Hmm.
donated, or even just the brands that donated. Like we had a couple belts sent from Next Belts, and that was just because I had one and I really liked it, and they have a great product. Um, Sunday sent 2 bags.
Hmm.
Man, there's too many to name. Jeff sent out a goodie package. The Big Choke, it sounds like people loved uh
The
their
wine
last
and the big
place, the
choke hat.
wine. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, awesome experience for everybody who came out and everybody who donated. Cannot thank you enough. Um, just a great experience that I can't describe.
Yes, just unreal. Checked all the boxes and pumped for the next one. And again, if anyone has ideas or wants to be a part of it, hit us up. And obviously, you can see all the recap reels and go see Juju on with the putts, man. Reel, as we say.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
just I'm excited, man. This is great.
it was definitely worth screwing up my sleep schedule for because I've still not recovered. Um, we're doing it at a little bit of a different time. It's almost 11 o'clock here, and I don't know what's going on with me. I'm still probably on California time.
Well, we wish you were on California time and out here.
Well, no, you're leaving, so
I'm leaving. I'm going back to Berlin and grungy but sexy. Yeah, it'll be fun. But it's like a completely different city in the summer, so everyone's chomping at the bit after the winter, and it's
I'm
gonna be
sure
good. So,
I'm
but
sure Big Phil
yeah, I
is
can't.
excited.
Yeah, Big Phil, and we'll get a couple wing nights in over there. But yeah, it's great. I'm pumped for you and Derek, and it's great stuff ahead. And thank you again for everything.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for helping us plan and kind of navigate this.
You got it. It's I'm excited about the 10-year Cancun one. That's our North Star, Dom Dom.
Cancun?
We,
Man, I've
we,
never
we,
been
we
there, but I'll go.
yeah, we'll go something ambitious like that.
Yeah, maybe not Cancun, but like, what would be golf's Cancun? We'll have to find out and think about it.
Hawaii would be great.
Oh.
It's a little hard to get to for the well, it's not hard to get to, just a long trip for the East Coasters and even you guys too.
Yeah, we'd probably have to have a layover at LAX and then zip on over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be probably a 10 to 12 hour door to door, right?
Probably. I won't be super
Mm,
thrilled, but dude, it's Hawaii. I'm down.
yeah. But yeah, there's so many places. If people have wild ideas, send them our way.
And like Jordan just said, no idea is too wild.
Damn straight.
Just not Wisconsin. We're not doing Wisconsin.
We could throw it on the road map.
No, no, we don't do Wisconsin. That's not a Minnesota thing.
All right, we'll scrap it then.
Maybe if the Vibes guys come out, we'll do Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, well, there's too many to count, but stay tuned on the next one. We'll probably aim, spring, early summer. So just
Mhm.
keep your eyes peeled.
And as for the podcast, we're going to get back to our normal week here pretty soon. I have a couple guests lined up, but I do need to find more. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I've been doing all the scheduling lately. I only have two guests scheduled for the rest of the year, which is not good. So feel free to reach out. Um, I'll reach out to whoever as well. But yeah, looking forward to getting back in the swing of things here on the pod. Um, obviously I'm gonna miss Jordan. Berlin time's a little different than, just 2 hours difference. But yeah, great week. Could not have asked for anything better. Excited for the next one. And I think that's where we're gonna leave it.
All right, Dom Dom. It's been real, man.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. Like I know we just saw each other, but it's a long day of travel, long couple days at work. It's felt like a lifetime, but long time no see.
Next time we'll get a challenger.
God.
I'm happy to ride in the trunk. We gotta. I know Big Derek was excited about that. He offered an 8 hour Southwest flight with a not so comfortable seat. I think he was excited about that, bombing
It
it
was
around Highway 1.
Yeah, it was not 8 hours. Don't put that out there.
It, it felt like 8 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every flight does.
Yeah, yeah, it sure does. But thanks again, man. This is fun, and thank you to everyone who showed up at the Shindig and supported the cause, and can't wait to break bread and have a couple pops next year.
Oh, we'll do it again. Bigger and better.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.